All lost their lives. Ghana is in mourning. I took the opportunity to visit some of the families. This is all Ghanaians, and we just want to extend condolences to the government, to His Excellency the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, and the government. I also want to extend my condolences to the Ghana Armed Forces who have lost very gallant soldiers in this process. I want to extend my condolences to the families, all those who died in this accident. It's very, very painful loss. Ghana has lost just a tremendous amount from this particular tragedy. I mean, this is not a partisan issue. It's not a partisan issue. This is a national tragedy, and regardless of, you should expect full participation because it is our national duty to fully participate.
The burial site, it is heavy, a very heavy moment right now, right here. That is Yusuf Suleimana in white, you see there, who just came to briefly have a look. And so the remains are raised. The movement is about to begin right now. Movement begins right now. Respect, respect, respect for the departed. Absolute honor, dignity, and 4 million fed on these to Dr. Murtala Muhammad, Alhaji Muniru Limuna. Their remains are currently being moved to the burial ground, and the Islamic burial rite would duly be followed, as it were and as it is, just as we are bringing you the live feed from this end. A slow march it is to move them forward and carry them slowly, in dignity, in honor. The moment is here. Last respect for all these, the departed Dr. Murtala Muhammad, Alhaji Muniru Limuna. Today ends all that they came to do on earth. But let me also, as well, as part of this, briefly seek to engage Alhaji Ibrahim Fuseni Feila, MC for Medina. What are your thoughts?
Well, it is so deep to our hearts because looking at the personalities that we lost.
My colleague Christian Yale, who had followed the entourage with the caskets, of course, as well as the president.
For Mechacha Munina, Amunina Aquava. Vision for Mechacha Munina, Mamunina Aquava, Sonoko, and then you may head the mobile Ras Media GHSO on this special platform. YouTube so. Meeting any Mr. Mafut me from a Ras Media. Head the PPR at form. Abusiane mabamo nan so biem na nwumrei mene mo bedi nkomo kakra ne atoto adwene ye betoto adwene kakra sa e won nsem mienu miensa bi a ekoso ye manum abaye nsem bebre a yeguso a ye dwendwene ho na we mu no nsem bi abegu abontene a mepese me no nyina ye nnomu asuko na ye nko yanim na ye nte ho ase yi se asem na esi ye no and sequel. There's something behind. And I'm no kase mensaka forensic audit of the black box. Babonten. Now Baba Churchill Muse. It is a clear sabotage. A nipa bi and a chassis a share that. A create all distance for a particular reason. Now asem no bi ohona yeka na unim the background of enkrofona ene omo na omudi Ghana man so na wanhwe ya na wakase bia masheda ana de America na minim ena America ayeden e de ase nipa ho miwia mementi ase me bese obi ho me nokore no so de da ho ayebeka ese saade bi eda o maame ni ba bi na ye nokre na ukoyi de odi bibi koyi ba umfa o maame sa na tie so bi e panyini ana obi yo party ni bi ba na ade bi koso na ense na mfata na mihu a meka na ene nkyerese bi a masheda se mi sabotage the image of the person na mom nokre na wo ho no ene na mepese me no nyina ye nche emfa na wo so hu de ekoso no bi ate wo ho ase yie se de be ya o ma ye mfa bibibi enhye de be wani na wani bebie na obehu niema na obete niema ase na niema enkoye togo ewo wani so eni nti ene matran sesem pese mene oni nkomo na nkomodie ne yebedi nkomo no from forensic audit we are memensaka exclusively the nam so a ema incident ne sie no ene unyina ba beche tem yepa mene unyina ba beche mene uche the mensaka ne wi a na mabobo videos binom so de akire wo now there comparison what the comparison what the compare we are you yourself will understand reason why ya match say Asiedu Nketiah ordered the military men to do what they did. And so now let's go into what the forensic audit of the black box. Abusia ade we ya me ba be kan akire wi transiko na tie me ye pa na me sanso asro se bomodre na like video we mame on subscribe yen so am so subscribe e wo channel we so na be ka abusuankuo no so ho na yenye dodo na yensama ye de ba na kwa chiri me mame Jennifer Adu me mo akwa aba me mame Nana ya won so me chia ye pa ai aboaji Charles me chia na Kobi ochire nyaako Westi won so me chia pa ono ma waba life e wo Facebook kwa motumi amama hu se maba no metinchia kese emamo wo a wo YouTube nso no utumi twere utumi ama ye hi na yɛakyea wo wotumi kɔmɛnte na yɛde agyina so akyea wo na yɛhu sɛ waba na yɛhu sɛ waba na yɛama wo akɔ aba dendenden paa abusua me ya resun kofi wo nso me akɔ aba yie paa me akɔ aba abusua for assemble na yɛka asɛm a yɛka ne sɛ the forensic report of the black box no aba bɛtɔ abɔnten na nneɛma na ɛbɛtɔ abɔnten no me no nyina yɛdwedwe mu ɛbaiba mu ɛwɛrewɛre mu ɛkenkan ne nyina akɔsi a wobɛte aseɛ sɛ whatever happened did not happen for a sake, but it happened for a reason because somebody needed that thing to happen. Now, obekese na uye den enya sa report we. Abusua report na menya ye menya firi papa bi a ye friend Nana Grant. Nana Grant ewo X. Obekese na okay. Ukofa report no ye hwan die ntia de ono betwere odi be ye adwuma. Die ntia de ono betwere odi be ye adwuma ne se ono no na adwuma oye enie oye cyber security analyst, software engineer, BI developer and a QA analyst. Say papa we owonim de mpa e wo na adwuma oye ho. This is his biography or say about me. A seasoned technologist with the passion of securing digital environment and optimizing software solution. Into a bottom, so a professional mind about technology, especially in the digital space. I say my career spans multiple phases of IT, from coding and system security to data analysis and quality assurance. Tiemi ye pa. Papa ichire se ono na adwuma oye no, ne professional oye no. A very big yen can say space in terms of IT no. In terms of IT no. Na dio no ye coder or kodu or sansu ye system and system security or sansu ye data analysis and also quality assurance. Until no technology no to me create or to me analyze data say no kura na enye no kure. And now yeah, dear so the technology yeah, don't want to me observe say we papa and I say papa. I say I'm dedicated to making a technology safer, more reliable, and data driven, ensuring that every digital interaction is secured and efficient. And to also on a say, or say technology nankasa ya ka ho asem no emeye baabi obetumi ade bi obetumi agye adi obetumi anya assurance wom na baabi a ye di technology be ye bibia no enwuma no betumi akoso yo efficient. It is a papa with a professional journey in a software engineering, developing a robust application with a focus on scalability, performances. Papa we or ye technological man. And the papa we ne the report na ba ene me no ba be chakan. Tibi pa. And who the background of the person or the report na ba me no ye ba be che. Yen kosuna yen kinkan. The day na sabio asem no see no papa we babontina na grant or say Ghana we bullied 8 guardians betrayed by a broken system. Tie o see yesie yen kan say ni agwamafo abambofo enwotwe enam system a enya adwuma yie. Their wings were crept not by fate but by forged paperwork and reckless order. Tieni ye pa. Me nye technology. Me nye hwan na hwan bet. Brofunu bi ho nkasa ni bi ho amenti ase. But we will make sure to explain. Enti se do si kire no. Pray no. Na ebinom pray no ne na taban no. Ne ebinom ye crept. E kan crept na enya dwuma yie. but enam say nipa na okoye paperwork a okohwe brain na ansa na eba betu no wanye na adwuma yie na okoma reckless order ntino ema pray ni tuye ai ni kwanse nke tu enti o say our demand for truth honor them, our demand for truth honors them, but truth without judgment, with justice, mocks their sacrifice. Prosecute the negligent, rebuild with integrity. Let GAFZ9 be our last preventable loss. Nti papa we according to the work we have in say, and nipa say look the baby to a ewo police soldier balance hono. E won krofo a omo adwuma omo ye nyina ne say alupre be ba betu a omokwa alupre no ho ekoye checks ehwe bibia e wa alupre no ho ansana ombema order say alupre no ntu a watu asema papa we ye kama ya ate ase ne say enipa kro koye sa paperwork no wanya adwuma ne ye report no de buy na ye fake report na the true state of the helicopter and or the buyer. And this man is demanding for what? Yan can say the truth. Now see truth to the why yam fonso no yebe man atembuo because so we true truth na wo hu no kure no na wamfa asondie anas asotwe anka ho a it said ye wo sere nipa no omo ye no omo atofuwo no omo ye no. And to upon say negligent, negligent to say ye see ya de na wan ye ye negligent. And to see ye persecute any pakra or ye that kind of negligent work and I'm suntia any power train a coffee the one qua. And this is the first post of papa we ye when the thing happened. Yan to asun nim. I was saying to us, oh, sometimes Ghanaians, as a musia, we rely more on osofu owusu bempa osofu bi freye osofu bi kanwe. This is how Ghanaians we lost ourselves because asemusia many a times instead of we to go into the issue itself the way technological issue, so you will have to go also in the technological way. We have to also go into the technological way. Now you where the fault come from. And the papa when I say more trade, you say official forensic finding. Official where official forensic findings. The omoye hwehwemu ko ase no de omunya ayenie. GAF helicopter crash 6 August 2025. And no officially the Aba Bonting and anyway. Also or Kasafa Military Air Force plane GAFZ9 and the number GAF track GAF 724, which lost contact at 9:21 on the 6th of August 2025. And Tisalupre, according to the Papa Ikano from official report, no Alupre 2, by 9:21, no, na Alupre no, Ira F radar so radar na system bia we are say you were Alupre Alupre bia be offer na se ka kwan Alupre etu a onenam kwa Alupre bia ba bia woko bia no ye wo kwan a wofa so ye frene lane na unam mu enti no de betumi aba depende se bia mo ye mienu Alupre mienu betumi kohia wo the same lane no mu a yetima bi kofom na yama bi kosoro yetima bi den pin ne ho kakra se de bia ba ko betumi atwam. It all depend, but Alupre tour it goes by lines here. Ya draw we ma technology need to identify na pray no nam so enante. And according to Sa Papa way, the all can say Alupre na ye ka ho asem no. Ah yesi 02910 no. 9:21 na wayera na oni radar no so ye na opia hu no system no hu no mewia Kwame Japan me akwa bapa o say as a cyber security and forensic analyst committed to truth and justice, I have conducted an independent investigation into the tragedy that occurs in Obuasi crash, and I can confirm the cause of the crash that killed 8 heroes. After rigorous investigation, we confirmed the tragic loss of the 8 Ghanaian heroes resulted from catastrophic instrumental failure of the main rotor hub, as weather alone did not cause this crash. Into the mama by mu na yenko yanim. Papa ichire say ono no wayeni independent investigation on the asema esi ye no. Ayanam so ma nipa enwo twekɔhwere wo mu nkwa. Ewo Obuase ema omu wu ye no. Na according to the oye ye no, asem na esi ye no, enye weather ene ma sa asem no si ye. Na mbom no eye rota na ye fan na esi play no so itwa no. Osi eye ho na asem no firi, eho na problem no wo. Eho na problem no wo. Enye weather na ma asem no si ye. Osi microboost was catalytic, not the cause. An airworthy rotor would have survived. Osi a woman na weather no enye papa de. But alupra na ne ntaban no ejina ne nan so ye adwuma papa no ebetumi anante abra problem bi enye den ensi wahyo mode say ana mokasa mode nkwasa ke kanko o say undetected, because bro we scientific words na kwa ne use no me menye we ni me cyber security ni na matumi akan ofani saying cyber security English me brofo de okambo ma ote ase and according to the papa ikan o hano kire say enam say sabio rota na ye ka fan na esi pre no so no etu yentino na enya adwuma nti na enya adwuma yie ntino any little turbulence bia no etumi koso ema plane no lose control of itself in the air teniye osanchire mu say minima se kire 72 knot or 38 mph or 133 km per hour. Downdraft was recorded at and according to the Okano at 9:33 they recorded the say plane was running at 133 km per hour. And obeying Obuasi. Tienipa. Maintenance long was attended with a fast force failed entry which read rotor hub where Abusha Mentiasia. Or say Adiana Obununya yen can say obi of force failed entry say alupre no na taban no rota no etira taban no ataban no na ye adwuma 100%, which is not true, because according to Mose, the vibration was a critical that the lab report wanted it grounded immediately on 4th August 2025. Said the papa no alupre na taban na isi pre no so no on the 4th of August 2025 no amount for ye critical yen can say checks e wo pre no ho e ma omo hu say alupre no tu a enam semframan fan na e boso no enya adwuma yie ntino etimi ma pre ni shake too much. And I'm waiting on the 4th August they had to ground also munsi from immediately. And yes, sir, this is what happens in August, August 2025. Entity Yipa, the plane was not a plane. Na enipa bia nemu say plane no problem. Tie, o say an well we can say Mentiase Kurapo, a Gulf Comments based CDR overruled technician, minister expects Obuasi on skill on well. Yen can senti the ochire on the 5th no and ekoye sa invest ekɔ pray no na ho odene se bibia ye adwuma enam se na ministers no so omonko Obuasi ho on the 5th of August 2025 for him. Dear Nesiye, dear see and say, a nipa na okoye report no efa pray no ho. Oma order say yes, the plane can move no. Wanye nhwemu papa. Wanye adwuma no okone na ho na san ba chi be kan kire mu say the plane can move to Obuasi. This is what the man want to say. Say fine na esi pray no so a ene na ma pray ni pagya ni motumi nante kɔ nanim no na enye 100% yen can say effective, but enam adwemoni nti nipa okoye checks no obedi ntro e de kire empanfo ema mpanfo so gitu mu ema mu decide say they are going to fly. Now let's go asam no mu ehu o we yenko yenko kan na mo ha yenko kan na mo ha. Okay, I see the black box telemetry shows there. You say the black no you had a the black box telemetry shows rotor RPM surging to 112 before disintegration. Tio, I say RPM the velocity of the fan. When you first sucha, the women tell us what is the meaning of 112% before disintegration. As it's the opposite thing and say, Omunya, yen can say, offending them kurapona. Black box no. Ababeda a deeper face say, oh, come here. That be yaha. Yeah, black box no. Ababeda a deeper face say, Aluprino was running at 112%. Ansana ebetia free man ansana anintiminya adwuma biem. Ansana disconnected with the plane itself. Critical evidence proof safety warning were overruled for operational expenditure. Tie. Nipa na okoye checks no hu say plane no fault wo mu no. Enam nipa bone ni adwemmone ana omo adwene dadanti no sa nipa no eka naso eto so ebo nani gu so on the fact say the plane was not in a good condition to move. Maintenance laws prudently declared the aircraft 100% operational despite technicians urgent grounding order. Tieniye pa. Enipa na okoye control no. E declare se plane no 100% operational. Even though technicians akase plane no ye maninsi ho. Listen to it very well. Tieniye pa. Tieniye. Also me can hatchlo say on the 4th of August, yekoye test technicians eba pray no ho. Ebe kan kire military for no say pray wey mo maninsi o mom tu no because onye efficient onye operational efficient. Ontumi ntuma ne yeye. But technician na oko pray no ho ansa na pray no ba betu no ebu na ni gu so ka kire mo se pray no betumi atunti omonko even though na ye dikan ka se pray no ntumi nante nko ba bia tie me yepa accountability is negotiable. We demand prosecution of the GA maintenance chief for long falsification and other operational directors for gross negligence. Tieni yepa ose saade we e wo say ye hold those people accountable. Wabo nipa de wo ha o tieni ye wabo nipa de wo say we demand prosecution e wo say yenye hwehwemu wo saade we ho e wo nipa a ono na ye the chief maintenance a ono na mmomode nkrata fon ba abonten e be ka kire mo se pre no betumi atu abra na ntumi ntu. Reformers follow the real-time blockchain maintenance and protect whistleblowers channel. Papa sense actually. Papa sense actually. Etabushenti assembly yepa. Ti assembly yepa. Enipa da sani na share da eka nkrofo we gu pray sukokum mo. Because wakoye check e wo pray no. Na ukoye ya tro se pray we untumi manu ntumani nsi ho because I say. And don't forget to say Anando Danko Kufuor and Dr. Bawumia, they risk their life on the same praying. And the prayer no obey himself for to pray no. But listen to what is happening here. They falsificated report to make sure say yebema nipa binom akofuru pray no. Meba pa nyanto base mame. Nyanto base pa mame. How come say prayer ya ground no? Ya kesi ya ground prayer na che say ya DC form ya see a man into. Prayer ya ground no. Prayer technicians are more professionals. Our modern beka for pray hono. Eye the final thing because pray ne tua ni poti pray no mu bia life is at risk. Na yetumi ye falsification on the documents are say pray no enya hodre se betu ni adigina sutu na ekokum nipa nwotwe. Adebi ba utim. Asembi ba utim ana. We will do everything to get power. Even if it's our lives, we are going to do it. Say yanka say ye kra na edebe ye kra na ebeye. Enti Ghana, if actually we want to know the truth, there is only one person that can help us. On the chief maintenance of the GAF Z9. Yeah, GAF 247. What is the number? Let me see. Yeah, Z9. Yeah. Z9 no. See person you no kure woman. The chief maintenance no. Our fake documents. And they be convince yeman nipa binom a full pray no. That person must to hold accountable. You hold accountable no so actually nipa kura namnes nipa kura. Ochire no say onye ne sa na nipa binom entu. Mbacho asana make an set to assume. So say like a video no mame. na share ka ho mame so na enko ya nim. Like video na share mame na yenye den yenko ya nim. Afi na waba na won subscribe won so maka just subscribe mame. Enti se me ba na me ko hu report to be ti say ye kire say everybody knows that the brain was not working. But we decided to use the brain to move a man for to move a man for kununum on the brain. Don't you think say there is something hidden somewhere? I feel ye by a diem. Oh, you say bibi wa chira en sto aso because bra Asiedu Nketiah edin sembi no abeto abontene. Miria Ivan Sankama mwako abapa. Asiedu Nketiah din sembi no abeto abontene. NDC communicators binom so din sembi no abeto abontene. So hwehwe mu a nke yakwa akoye se yesum fidie bi na fidie no ayi de na ye hwehwe no na ayakwa akoye se enipa no binom ojubri house ho a they were aware of everything. Enipa no binom ojubri house ho a de si ye ni nyina no they were aware. Kwame Tua in MPP is Kennedy, Japan. Pacho temi fa. Me Evans na twere yo. Temi ye pa, some na make temi ye pa. Because se utie nsema Asiedu Nketiah kan ye. Utie nsema NDC fo bi no kan ye. Bi ti say yese Muntaka Mohammed. Muntaka Mohammed. Enkokwa akofuru pray no. The internal minister and not to forcing echo train na tade e train free prenum okotrino tiemi ye pa dien what is in your mind me ya Felix Apia me mo akwa papa dien na wu time na meno suntia a minister onya akura ketwa okuna kwa akofuru pray akobabi na waka chere se man nko no so obeko na wudi na ti kotwe na free pray num ede ni pa foforo shem. People should start thinking very widely. Who is Nanaya Felix? Abusamunte mi yepa. DNT asabio Muntaka Mohammed e kwa akofuru prena. Atu force etuminya yenkane say this necessity to go and pull the man okokotwin ni pan de ni free prenum enya me na meka o NDC fo na beka aye na okoso na chitwe no e free prenum se da bi eni kwansa okọ sambra dia nana ato force nima ena menu nsunti no na mpese mutaka ebeko. Now let's think about it. John Dramani Mahama was supposed to go. Asiedu Nketiah was supposed to go. In him say ama Kofi Boade papa we are for the first time I will jubilate over a death. Ama Kofi Boade yenim say enam say oye yen can say the direct minister involved, you know, he decided to go by land. Now Hokra that days before to organize himself and know how to present the government in a good manner in Obuasi. But John Dramani Mahama and Asiedu Nketiah were supposed to move together. What happened? Na mo beka say ahoyfo no beka kire nipa bi no mo say they should not worry. They should hold the position as what? As vice president. Because they don't know what can happen in the future. Samokai. Isi ye pa. Oh, yes, asem adansie ni ho a etwafa e de ya adansie e man ye. Beka say ras de asem na wo kan. De me pese men kaman to ne say the target people were not these people who died. The initial target, but we had a first target and a second target. As the say, we a person on say we abrabo, but when who say ye person say na abrabo no tree gina ye and no pay nipa fufuro di share na nine. Because we are human. And information, leakage of information, of secret things always happen. The leakage of secret information is something very common in this world. Because yes, sir. Enipa mienu ankomo the principal men na enam onos omusuntia yedi pray no besi ho say yedi omo kono. They all at a moment decided not to join the journey, not to go to the event anymore. Adentia yes mahama say wasi asori dan edu na wo obi a wasi asori dan e de ama asori bi wo do bottom scan asi asori dan no. How can you tell me, say, they invited you to the program on the same day that the program was supposed to be held? Say me to kwaku ai wenya me ho na makura ase ma decide say I'm building the village, I'm creating nice roads, street, tiles on the floor. Na ma push sikade ama omo na omo aye adwuma ni nyina wie na omo be ye inauguration na ye mmom yamane until the day that they were doing the inauguration na yebo yamane say kwaku ye wie adwuma no enti bra na ye mia no me ma me papa wo tie me asem does it make sense? A political zone alama me dan na share chire. Does this make sense? Say what sponsor everything by yourself. Now, ya more money in time enough for you to organize yourself. Number no at immediate moment. And the said there be brand. No, there's something hidden there. Bibi woho. Bibi kase bi woho. Bibi kase bi ewo. Enti mahama na wose nkonko furu pray no osi onko biem wasi asore dan e de ama Assemblies of God for enti ene na omoko bia no afi ni abo na amane enti onko. How can you reject ebeba dan na wato manfo a yedu diabo poster so for days and weeks say oba na ahemfo eni mpanfo abokra do twenwo na at last hour wo say yes me nko bia sori ano entime nko biem. It says something. It's a mystery. It's mystery. Brofre can say a misterioso. Itali kasa misterioso. Entime can say brofu kasa is a mystery. It's a mystery. Na papa isi onko na yafa yewura amaboa nyamaboa omane boa ma se onko orode waje atom so beko. Now let's go deep into the thing. Asiedu Nketiah was also supposed to go with John Mahama, according to what Asiedu Nketiah said. Bro, Asiedu Nketiah so pray ni si papa ko furu pray ni menko se menko ya bulleted ya mano. Hey grofo we mimi aba Augustina Ofosua memo akwaba Nketiah Kwajo Junior oso mo akwaba pa. Asiedu Nketiah so ya bulleted ya mano onje no mfa nko no onko kan. Asiedu so ma ne ho so a twim wo twa form onko ose onko. Papa denti a wonko a ose e me de mintumi nko na wuntumi nko ase chairman ya adenti a ose wonko frɛ Muntaka Mohammed so no no onko. Pacho, what is the meaning of vice? He nkrofo we omo enkontopofo omo nka nokure. But we will let them understand, say, we don't be or be wabon or the system. No, we don't just drink them. Hey, we can talk about it in the many ways that you want it. But we sit down one day and try to understand what you are saying. Tell me, we are chairman of a party. You invite to baby. What prepare so baby ko. Anopana osi unkobiem. Why? And I was say you know, say unkosi wanai. Vice chairman, that was so unko. But then you see, Asiedu Nketiah went after Muntaka Mohammed, so unko, and Muntaka say, Obeko. And you be say, did they have an agenda against some of the people in the party? Yes, konko. And was it a brutal idea? One after young can say, we person kum we and a way so person kum we are now. Muti assembly ye pro. We are vice chairman. We are chairman of the party. You invite to Babina to me inquire. Why now then a woman could do a name? O vice chairman. And today uja vice chairman was say, O Kwako Fremwine, Muntaka Mohammed or ye internal minister. Does it make sense? And you find internal minister, and a defense minister. So among from call. Tell me, either everything was orchestrated. Everything. Either it was orchestrated by Asiedu Nketiah and their voice. Tell me, and to find change. Asiedu Nketiah, or ye the evil man in the party, Sapapan, or ye nipabone rough. Ye would Asiedu Nketiah no hun am ho. Kete no. The man is an evil man. No be or no MPs at the parliament no got national ho. No commanded the whole MPs. A school for a for a school a tie. I am a position monko boama and fan chichel of mine. Motiwana obidini by ye tibabino or command them to say moi. Asiedu Nketiah is an evil. We are doing the analysis of what happened. And this is a vice can say chairman of the party. Now on Kobabi. Now all of a sudden you exclude the position of a chairmanship. Now who you then who to somebody who is actually completely different from your position. Because chairman, the Okoba be oka. Internal minister as MP or the Okoba be oka. So how can you take a minister to go and represent a positioner, a chairmanship position? And then did you orchestrated that to say you make everything looks like everything is okay, and on the right moment you decided not to go to push people that you wanted to kill them to go? Tie. Yan couldn't go to your video now. Sema Asiedu Nketiah nkasa okaye. Na wan kase me mum na me ye niema no dodo. Asiedu Nketiah video way. Utie kwa chira, you will get a lot of things from this. Yentie.
So we a chairman who are Konya say we a to aba yi chairman for vice for no me in count. We are now so a pay a Konya a mensa the account. And on a name so me to and sa friends support say Emrameta opportunity. And I'm in a juma kusi and son in that boy. Now, yeah, come once a more. I just said, no, pretty woman, and says, Apple or the name qua. And now, what you have to hold as some here.
Tieni yepa. Asiedu Nketiah is actually confessing. Say sapon. Edene nkwa aji ono Asiedu Nketiah nkwa. Yento aso na yenti nsema obeka. Asiedu Nketiah pese onka magana fo nyina nte se Mr. Sapon oda mensa nifa so hono. We're making a what them call sacrifice just to what? To save Asiedu Nketiah. Adentia, yenti and some of the canto aso. Otu ya wa mabimu mena nka sese meko enti nhihye ni nyina kosi branda na nyumre nyina na mena sese meko enti temiyo wan wo say Misha sana me kasana bia na obi be kase ma fo asembe na wo kan da be nya asembe na me kan you arrange everything on the Tuesday night you organize bibia so channel pa Asiedu Nketiah one mahama mo be furu prayer call you could do anopa neither mahama or Asiedu Nketiah wants to onboard themselves ento aso na yentie everybody saying, how does it happen at all? Some of me and you know, someone called Furuprint at a point in time, you were all not available to go for this event. Dear na yebe catch them all. Dear na intelligence speak here. Ne ban send the munya intelligence, the mom farm mom on crow for no hobby. Na mom moka wum tigu. I'll come there and I'll explain to you what happened there. Yanko.
Enti branda na nyumre o party meeting. Ana me de tu ja say. Juma dia ye kwa kodi no kwa. Ase say me ko. Nenso no. Bibia sanka mo enti nko. Enti anka general secretary. So I ready show the part, so see my name. Or not so here in crack, I'm not just say or not so. At the BBM and so on. It's meeting Nina Sinamsia. Now says so for no qua, so nim Nipa Univa wojina wana mu da bia senti sapon ne wo hono sapon so ofiri asantimam enunti no se bibi si wo kwase a na se wanya kwanya kwa ene sapon na eno ane sapon ko ya yeah party mun hihye nso
we fo nsa na wa hwe de ye kan aye moa ti Asiedu Nketiah analysis no wo chairman ayese wo Ghana for si wani afiri pa o so wani ate pa but me who say Asiedu Nketiah have that character of primitive manner of life say one who tete sem tete that yeah you know that man is a very primitive man now papa te say what the party a chia chena unim the responsibilities of a chairman and of its vice chairman. Yes, Kobabi also to be in court, but the person who suggested and the secretary. What does the secretary have to do with you as chairman? Asiedu Ebisau. Moshe that prompt to you say you wanted to deal with your chairman, with your secretary now. Chimiepa. Moshe da a prompt to say you wanted to finish your secretary now. I say, Habushi, say report medical country say ya I just want you to read the last part of the report. Na yento aso o say ha Tio o say critical evidence proves safety warnings were overruled for operational expediency. Tieniepa maintenance log fraudulently declared the aircraft 100% operational despite technicians' urgent grounding order. As a change in our perpetuity, and say, even though Sena evident say, pray no to me biano, and nipa oko control pray now ma order say pray no be to me to no falsify every document to prove that thing wrong. And to say about neighbor who Asiedu Nketiah. Asabio oye adam o that day. No, I don't say the whole soon. No catcher will say, or don't know as a chairman of the party. Memenda numere on our council to minko, but one can't answer the vice chairman say uncle. But he was searching for somebody else to go and replace him. How can I believe this thing? Enter home. Neman in Sisi the Bibi Shababi. Adibi Shababi. Adibi Eshababi. But what did you make say? The Bibi Shababi omo person omo hide. Because it is not acceptable. We cannot accept, say, Yamamo report to say, pray in your Juma. Now still, mu decided say you want the plane to fly. Now look what, at the end of the day, Mona never saying come on for pray in Tunkobabia. Na more kono, you all decided not to fly anymore. Asiedu, then I'm here. Me papa Asiedu Nketiah. Dear Ben, and I'm here. Yet a pahu. Dear Namoye, na menusuntia. Mo withdraw mo from the flight at the last round. Namu pia man for my dear Mokoye. Apparently, the plane was supposed to be in the garage. Asiedu, sacrifice na now we are na ye pa hu na abusia asema making ebia na ye utimu na maame nkona mko show different video bi so ti ha ye
it's only God
yanto asenenti asemo Muntaka Mohammed was the 5th person to join the crew intine wo omanebo amatim yeah Muntaka Mohammed was supposed to join the crew.
I just started asking questions and they kept telling me, like, when the name started coming. At first we had Muntaka, then later on, you know,
sorry to cut him, but for our finance minister, Muntaka would have been on the plane.
That's why he was crying so badly.
Muntaka would have died. But a finance minister no and a year day a genuine. Now let's hear Kwanya finance minister no a far so a Muntaka Tie.
Was the 5th person on board with Dr. Manibuama. Then had to drag him out.
Muntaka and I the last person Nkoko furu pray no obon ko omotu akọ tiriye pa asem no mu edru Muntaka was the last man 5th person the 5th person Nkoko furu pray na yetu akọ but bibinti ade bia na sabio ato forcing enimenti o say ato forcing eya hoifo nipa ato forcing we mfantew massa ato forcing one of the pillars of the NDC enti critical information nyina ebedru ato forcing anim enti ato forcing sidabi Muntaka manko tie.
I just started asking questions and they kept telling me, like, when the name started coming. At first we had Muntaka, then later on, you know,
sorry to cut him, but for our finance minister, Muntaka would have been on the plane.
That's why he was crying so badly.
Muntaka was the 5th person on board with Dr. Manibuama. Then had to drag him out.
At the Air Force Base.
Atu said, no, you can't board because we have a meeting with the immigration guys and I need you there.
That explains his tears.
Yeah, that's why he was
so he boarded the aircraft. He was supposed to go. Muntala was not on the flight.
Muntala rather
was not on the flight.
Because they normally go
5.
So Muntala was not on the flight.
Muntala wasn't. So it was supposed to be Muntaka.
So it was when Atu insisted and dragged Muntaka out.
Then Muntala
replaced him as a vacant seat. Then Muntala replaced him.
So many things happened yesterday. Because our president was supposed to go, he didn't go.
Understand him.
Muntaka was supposed to go, he was pulled out, and somebody else went. So it's only God.
So it meant that it was Muntaka's name that's on the manifest.
Yeah. Well, so that was what happened. So at the end of it, I mean, I think that's
why people started mentioning his name when it happened.
Okay.
Because I'm sure he might have also told friends and family that he was
traveling. No, everything was done. He was boarding before he was dropped, actually.
You know, so much, as far as I heard Muntala, I don't know where the tears came. Get one. Because I knew him.
Rodlin, please put your thoughts on hold for us, because according to Muslim tradition,
even so what kamakuma so asema nanka be babeka tio ato forcing, he's an Ahoy linked NPP NDC man. Omanebuama, he is pick and put. Ono no ye fani fi baby na de be si ho ne ho ya amanfo ahin dada wo party no Muntala Mohammed ono no waye ne ho nkroma nest bi wa ne ho say oh support to NDC, but you don't understand him well. Samson na Muntaka so tie, but Muntaka have a strong link with that Ato force, and according to what the NDC men are saying, yemna me kan we nyema for declaration we NDC self-declaration say, after forcing went there to drag Montaka from the plane. Abranani team list so say he must to move with them. And for your information, and then after forcing is the person who is repressing Omaneboama. Upon all the NDC people, more party konum, apart from more mokita fake doctorate, apart from more mokita fake PhD, no, you won't control party no still no. They have their documents and they are schooled. But we song say, I didn't pay. Sakoye say, how comes out to force him mom? And then, or yet the acting defense minister. There is darkness ahead of Ghana. NDC pa antimi antwene ho amfiri sa mojamojanes. There is a big darkness on Ghana because they are wicked men, especially the man called Asiedu Nketiah. The man have an ambition to become president of the Republic. And to assure people that they can, I'm for me to train a name one. Na kwantu no mu no papa na hyase take them away etinato forcing or yet acting minister for defense ato forcing a monta keko free plane or train free plane no mu no bisa say die ne ba ato forcing mo or train papa no free plane mo enyam make out here.
I just started asking questions and they kept telling me, like, then the names started coming. At first we had Montaka, then later on,
sorry to cut him, but for our finance minister, Montaka would have been on the plane.
That's why he was crying so badly.
Montaka was the 5th person on board with Dr. Manibuama. Then Atu dragged him out.
At the Air Force Base.
Atu said, no, you can't board because we have a meeting with the immigration guys and I need you there.
That explains his tears.
Yeah, that's why he was
so he boarded the aircraft.
He was supposed to go. Murtala was not on the flight.
Murtala rather
was not on the flight.
Because they normally go
5.
So Murtala was not on the flight.
Murtala wasn't. So it was supposed to be Muntaka.
So it was when Atu insisted and dragged Muntaka out.
Then Murtala
replaced him as a vacant seat. Then Murtala replaced him.
So many things happened yesterday. Because our president was supposed to go, he didn't go.
Understand him.
Mutaka was supposed to go, he was pulled out, and somebody else went. Yes. So it's only God.
So it meant that it was Mutaka's name that's on the manifest.
Yes. Well, so that was what happened. So at the end of it, I mean, I think that's
why people started mentioning his name when it happened.
Okay.
Because I'm sure he might have also told friends and family that he was traveling.
No, everything was done. He was boarding before he was dropped, actually.
So much, as far as I heard Murtala, I don't know where the tears came. Just one. Because I knew him.
Rodlin, please put your thoughts on hold for us, because according to Muslim tradition, the
say omane boama kra ye de pese mfanye me ma me Vivian kuma me wakwa bapa omane boama kra ye de pese yenye ai ebia na onti ase sa na tie adenti ameka sa. Listen to this video too.
Currently where I'm staying now. So
before yesterday, when was the last time you...
We spoke on Tuesday, actually. I was at Guma Fete where we were expecting the president. The president had built 10 churches for the Assemblies of God. God. And he promised in 2024 when he was campaigning. So he was like, oh, politicians and their promises. The Ocasio will be National Cathedral.
Yeah.
So like that. But within 1 year, he delivered all 10 churches with accommodation, fully furnished with instrument and everything.
Assemblies of God.
Assemblies of
by
God.
the president.
It's not even 1 year.
Yes.
6 months.
He promised that in November in Navrongo.
Okay, so let's take a look at that project.
And these are the churches.
Yeah, these are the churches.
So these are the churches.
Yeah, 10 of them. Within 1 year, the accommodation fully furnished.
It's nice, yeah.
Lordina furnished all the kitchens.
Yeah.
So the pastor's wife, all you have to do is to go into the room.
So these are 10 different branches of Assemblies of God.
Yes.
So where are they situated? Which
In the
parts of the
northern
country?
region, we have 5 regions in the north.
Well, from the video no 8 here. Yes, in this video, Muhammad did not go because of these churches. Because of these churches. Do you got me? If you got me, you got me. If you don't got me, forget about me. If you understand where we want to get to, you understand me. If you don't understand me, forget about it because you cannot understand. There is something hidden. All of a sudden, the people that were supposed to travel, none of them traveled, and they were replaced by different people. Kofi Frank and Mwakwaba. All of a sudden, nkrofo na yo se nkomu ntukwan na ye twen wo mo ye de omudin ye poster ye twen wo mo no omo ama omo anko Asiedu Nketiah epesen konfa general secretary na enko general secretary si onko adentia why general secretary of the NDC? What is the name of the general secretary of the NDC? The position and the idea no ye. What is his brains? What is his ideas? Whom does he support in the terms of that 3 pillars now? You're creating a one Disney or Mahama, Asiedu Nketiah, and Julius Dabra. That is the base of NDC today. It do research and find out to say the general secretary does not belong to the Asiedu Nketiah agenda to be the president of the republic. Minya Daniel Asante Mwakwaba. Ye papa Asiedu Nketiah no. Ni ambition no. The general secretary of the party does not support. On support, and it is fact. Factual. Omane Buama, he is pro John Mahama, Julius Debra. Pacho Timipa. Julius Debra ejina fa. John Mahama ejina fa for the 3rd term agenda. And Asiedu Nketiah ejina fa. Ye womunie. Papa na oye a Greek minister no. Me ankasa nkrom ni Bruni no. Ono no, Julius Debra darling boy pa. Because Julius the audio also uncontested. Or the darling boy ko. Omane Buama, Omane Buama. Eye Mahama, pro Mahama agenda. In case the agenda 3rd term failure, Omane Buama neba. Asiedu Nketiah, you know, Asiedu Nketiah, he's representing himself. The general secretary of the party does not support Asiedu Nketiah's idea. And to look, in the evening of the Tuesday, you know, Asiedu Nketiah in a meeting catch them say onko boase enti yama general secretary na enko kamwa gumunko the wicked soul akamwa gumunko media mema. But unfortunately papa no say onko Asiedu Nketiah to me katana ni de ono ankasa na damfo ebo afode e kana ti ko se ko akọ kona ko because anyahwe eyeme na medo aba amawanya gina bre e wan pipim e wan disim. Now you know what, you Asiedu Nketiah ka asem bi wo papa no fie Mr. Sapon fie ho a me eyeme areho pa. Asiedu Nketiah say at the end of the day, TV the way.
We to aba yi chairman for vice for no million count. We are now so pay akwanya ayi miensa the account. And on am so a beton sa friends upon say environmental opportunity. And I'm in a juma kusi and son in the a boy. Now, yeah, come once a more. I just said no crew pan and says apple or the name qua. And now what they are to her as some here. Otu ya wa mabiri mena nka sese meko enti shishe ni nyina kosi branda na nyumre nyina na mena sese meko enti branda na nyumre o party meeting. And I made it too, just said, you might be a quack no what. As I said, Meko. Then so no, Bibia Sanka more into Anka, a general secretary. So I already saw the quack, no so you could see my name. Or not so hell and crack them, let us say, or not so. And the Bibia man so quiet. Intimate ni nyina se na mo se a na wo se ukona wo kwa so unim nipa uni wa wo gina wa na mu da bia senti sapon na wo hono sapon so ofiri asanti mam enunti no se bibi si wo po ase a na se wo anya kwa ya kwa ene sapon na eno ane sapon ko ya.
So this year come win one. More holy man penny Mahama responsible. So this year I can't depend on win one. More holy Mahama responsible because he's aware of everything. Now Mr. Asiedu Nketiah say e ban say no so won ko na samasa ponko. In the first place, yes, I feel quite here. You the cat and my Fifi quite. 7 quite nko. And so on your home. It is idea. First vice, a friend is saying, Doctor Samasa put your cat and no nko. And to the set, Anna Yadia Adina. I said, yes, any money. Play number so. Delegation protocols, the first year. Muntaka for Pena, yes, will be a trinity sign. Nedam. Kaso ya kache nipa say yase muntaka fu play no and at the first in so that she said, a pudding is a sifum.
A meeting. See meeting.
The Panoke, a mafo papanum, a mafo crunum, a mafo fanum. Kase kwasa sem we kire say yanyi
Jesus
na ma wi aka kire say ye be hwehwemu afa ho ye beti committee
any committee
boy bi wo onua TV am say friend JB
abusu tie ni yepo asem no mu eduru pa asem no mu eduru asem de mu eduru ne say Eniema bi won sema asisi no mu a chese okay ka bubo mu a you can't get the head and the tail. Okay, kasi ani say you want to find the logic part of it. You can't get it. Because it is very, 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 very unexplainable to the sense say obi ko full plane ya ye protocol ya hwetwere niema ya prepare statement e de udin ato ase say you are going to give the statement na at a step to enter the plane yetimi betwen every plane say that you don't have to go, come back the pafu from fro. Fifi Kote. Why they did not want Fifi Kote to move? Adentia, Asiedu Nketiah emom din ani see Fifi Kote. So, who is Fifi Kote? Is Fifi Kote powerful in the NDC? Yes, he is. A representative of their voice. So, the trap that was set, it come from his camp. So they would never allow him to move. Now, do you know unim the MLT pass? These people, after the incident, they did not care about nothing. The man who said, you see, accident in see, not to be house honor. Not Jubilee House honor. And to quasi your pardon then. Mimius can say, Samuel Sapon has changed his life for you because you are what? Because you are what in life? What value do you add to his life and family? Now I have another video. I want to find it where now Asiedu Nketiah didn't throw the attribution for the family. Omonya baby, Omonya. I think so. Say Omonya find the position. Just said this man is a very wicked man. Was I quite that bush for me? Say a video here. Let me see if that was the video. Let me see if this is the video. Papa Sapoma man appointment too. Now no papa we Asiedu Nketiah could never be catch papa na bush and force a fin and now of my
kusi enti hihye ni nyina kusi branda na nyumre nyina anka agenda secretary enti no se BBC wo kwasa bibia obeka se sapo mi hokoye we no obepopo de tida onu de odwabo mu kra oja ne de ni nyina no ababe to say amono nkaye ade be chiama duma de yesi anyumra ye kase sapo ochi wonya hwe nako asa ne nyam nso eto abari yenya post ban me de be ma me si wo me ne president so ayeka enti brada no wia oba office na mse sapo yanya baabi enti no enu kwada na olete na ye readiness na ya bodin say wona obekwa akoye chairman cocoa processing company ana da mase I would be more serious now, man. So, it's a wild home. I'm telling in Jaro, some say, Richie boy, not let them know what they are bringing. But the support also come. The customer is crank crank. The maton crank points are not. Yes, I'm German. Yes,
Ntitio. Motu abawi da da dai. 7 months ni enkwada nyina ma appointment. And now mama papa kum papa we ya because of adrembon ne kunkuma. And then I'm going to take. Hey, do you know how Rollins got power to rule Ghana? Through this type of things. But no, they're not gun power. Ye bow to a cool direct. We know the other a technical, a small a cool. San or motio. Now, papa way. What my baby papa upon a bush and friend me trying to say you have finally find a place for him. Say Uncle CEO of Cocoa Procession. Oh, Nanato. Well, NDC cannot make a statement that Omo Henry very achievement of Nanado. Cocoa Procession, a idea, initiative of His Excellency Nana Ado Dankwa Akufo Ado. Bafo Chereso Bafo Memwakwa Bapa. And now better than me kwesi kwajoko acheka no. He should show a proof of the appointment letter. For letter number where it shows say actually vividly and I say really truly with evidence say say there was an appointment for that man. Kotomponkwa and tronkwa okum papa na wie dear no bekama busiamfo no I believe you and answer omo feel say papa we no do mine no narration adjuma papa ya Mr. Sapon waye na santeman mu vote omunya no santeman mu nyina it is because of Mr. Sapon ne dedication of building a strong ultimate enya nipo mo santeman mu mo support to NDC and build a base in Asante. That man is the person that you want to use for sacrifice. You can't yenka. You can't a man for some of the year politics. Now you find your politics is saying. Mr. Asiedu, I didn't tell you intro the year with desa. Papa Asiedu. I didn't tell you politics in Montron contempo. What Jimo PhD? Baby Uncle when you do. Mr. Asiedu of Asiedu. What is your name? Now the Debia and turning Kontom Parkers here. Now Obubu Be, now Kanansem, the primitive life be now or showcase, see how primitive he is. Now a man for a bomb on mano. And so come or yen truffle Kontomponi. Now, let's move on. According to sources, no. 22 years no at the Jubilee House na jadam ntokwa pa Asiedu Nketiah John Mahama and the chief of staff and Amenusun Timpono after the incident no order from the Jubilee House no. He waited a lot of time. It is small boys in the shah said the Omanka so one in the shah say yen kwasi ade. Tio Ntokwapa at the Jubilee House. Who caused some? Now why? Why you do that? I didn't hear You know why? Why did you do that? Omo kontokwa to find somebody to blame. And even to give order. The commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces so bought a Accusations with Jubilee House where Bobby Kahon and Nonombi Gum and to give order to proceed with what them call professionalism of the Ghana Armed Forces at the place where the incident happened. No, there was none. Senka enipa titiro fuo se yawu na nkana na do dan kwa kufu ado tia konwa so na ye bejai the other helicopters na esisi ho no at the Bema camp ho na beja omo asi ho na ya want to say yente for about 3 hours. Hey Ghana for ya to ababone yato ababone ayi nipa bone ene awudifo abedi aman no so ehun sinsanso no ebeba ba. In fact, Miria, it is actually something non-acceptable. Say the defense minister of a state bewu such a tragedy very far from city na brochire ha ya woyi ekese woton nuro mpo na police for ba bechewa wukura na mo brabia no ye wudini kwa no ye fa so ye criminal woton nuro ananse bia wadi boni bi no na kuro we mu kuro ha Ghana for hu we did not value Nanado, and that makes me very sad. Yes, a minister and conquer say a good bottom. Now we national security ni ultimate so national security was a handcuff a shaneha. Now yes, defense minister ne a minister of environment and one acting coordinator of one national security. Now yes, monka say a good bottom soon your team. Na ye wo helicopters ya park na wo hefa e wo palace ho isisi ho eje mframa andisi fo mpanfo binom yan chimi fo pankwasiafo pa enkwasiafo pa what you say the entire the security of the country no ene aje ego nsem because they don't know how to govern the principle of governing a country, no. Omone, could say Yura, number 9. Bukashi, Bukatashi, and then Kwasianema, and Omoni Diachre. Ayeni Panini Pabacono. The father, the brother from another father, no. I MPP near, UP tradition near, or support to Nkrumah. I don't want to go there. Kakari TV mi amu akwaba. Utemi ye. And this for no. Omoti say UP tradition ya or support to Nkrumah. Na Nkrumah na ye ne role model no. Sa na omoti kiti bushiga. Oma omutu miswa. They don't know what to do with the power. Mesi abrochiri na anson bi yesi akura keto bi akwakoto amnam akura baako akoto amnam helicopters ahodo a nenam wiem nye binie na as a sitting president wa ankasa defense minister akwakowu such a tragedy where it's far to get there with army cars. Now what packet prince in this Bema camp where bomb from prince no helicopters in Kana Kano ya packing go and a minister Ankasana hey, but do you know the cause yadia krana enipa ya shenenam uhia ne sent no kra yade ebtimi de ball. And this I don't know why a country like Ghana, such a beautiful country, your party be a friend and this your mono can I say one of the biggest party in the country? I cannot understand. Now, Mojai helicopters in this is Bema camp. And a nipa dasani, edinity swa, a nipa nama yash ashe, na e bon can sama ya dear. Mude na ye will be a SFN help minister. Na ye wo parakaduti ai. Ye wo soldier for Motegana. Omoji debe omoji akatua. Se omoye se kan se ne sikano parakaduti sana se ne sikano. Yeah. Omoji akatua ye train omo so omoye Air Force. Air Force soldiers pa na mo ankasa mo boss wu the head of your authority wu mo ntumi amfa pray amfa wiem ankote ansi ho ankova the corpse of the man amani dignity bia na mo jama afomufo na di boton na yede sun nipa dasani ne nam said the ejahye na yesi atwe ana e kan say say o kwa atwe na akwose sanam nam ejahye emo a ejahye kese o muntumi nwane na o mu no na yasesa minister ankasa ministers omonam egu botom na yasoa na yetwa ni video na yede kire na ye wo soldier for Air Force so because your Air Force your Marines and essence was soldiers or mote as omo operate on the land. Na ye ntimian di proto Air Force man our mo anko secure the space and making sure say people cannot get access to the place. I'm making sure say the remain bodies of these men ye metoto ne form na ye jai ama ye di nkwasi asem sa jimi ne nsanom ne nkwasi akeka ne abebu anyansa nim ene nkwasi amato hwe enti amamfo to Jubilee House appointed slave queens. Now everything fall apart in the country. Aye. Ebinom omwani no omudi to omudi yeto yetua no omudi esan hweto ai etetare yemma yachi ebi o ma no chi no so bia na efew awrade ebi ho ho tumi yi wani mfiri so ane de no kore. But when you do babia, you go beyond distance and you become unya positions bia, you become somebody. You need to hold yourself or recognize yourself as a statesman and a responsible man. Yet one to not at openly. There will be a campaign platform. Ba be ma na or come for it. Hey, already young coupon. Yahuna man. I campaign platform campaigning to become a president. Mo campaign so na ye against homosexuality in the country. Papa wait to me na campaign platform so e can for ba be mato. Be ma wada na ho ba. We asemasi na nodina munu te sa kokono na otwam wona nima we o adwena okodwene na ya ma Minister of State na ankasa ne body na yeso no wo bottom te said ye a jashia wie na yakɔ ne namu na makɔ sesa mmoa de ɔmo ntimandwane mfiri a jashia no ɛso eti so wei ɛma yadeɛ saa nam wei saa nipa wei a ɔmo nam na hye a ɛso obi wɔ bottom a yɛnsiri ano a ɛmframa no ɛbɔ fam no ɛma yadeɛ papa ɛyɛ cancerous ɛyɛ dangerous ɛyɛ very dangerous but nkurɔfoɔ binom nneɛma wɔ ɔmo nte ase gyimi na dɔkoro wɔ asogyafoɔ te balance hɔ ɛbɔ dwo ɛbɔ spa adentia yɛsi saa adwene bɛporo a ɔhyɛ aseɛ porɔfiri ne ti enti sɛ mpanyinfoɔ no a ɔmo wɔ soro hɔ no saa adwene no nyɛ adwuma kɛse ɛnyɛ adwuma nkɔ akyiri ɛnyɛ expanded brain a obviously no amanfoɔ ɔmo receive command from them no they will be even more stupid than the men the big men because there is no command on them. Na matwim papafuo wei nom ɔmo adagya ɔmo awieyɛ ɔmo sɛ brem ada matwene fam ɛde ogu ɔmo anim ase wɔ wiase amansan nyinaa obia wiase amansan mu nyinaa hu papa wei nom ɔmo awieyɛ sɛ de si kɔɛ na momfɛre adeɛ nti no momfɛre adeɛ no deɛ na esiyɛ akyire ya magu papafuo wei nom anim ase agu ɔmo anim ase asɛ wɔn asabio ewiase amansan nyinaa hu sɛ Ghanafoɔ yɛnyɛ serious na yɛankasa yɛn nkorɔfoɔ yɛntumi ma ɔmo ho ban no afei deɛ yɛnkɔhwɛ a NDC foɔ asan akɔfa video bi aba abɔntena ɔmo abrande amanfoɔ funu hwɛ adeɛ well sɛ munim sɛ you wanted to I'm not against this so I say be I'm against the fact say yɛde ɔmo funu ba efunu kura ni hɔ yɛde ɔmo funu ba na yɛde ɔmo ato adaka mu ɛde Ghana flag abɔ ho dabi I 100% agree with this and it is beautiful. This can encourage the youth in the system say ɔmo betumi ayɛ adwuma pa ɛde asom wɔn man Ghana sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a sɛ ɔmo wu a ɔmo bɛyɛ celebrated by the state. Na deɛ mi bisa ne sɛ adentia first of all mudi kan ɛma yɛhu sɛ nkurɔfoɔ wei no ɔmo awieyɛ no sei na ɛteɛ tèmi yi ɔbusua mede adwene na ɛkasa o mede adwene na ɛkasa mebisa sɛ munim sɛ a statesman like them their end should be special. Why didn't you deploy the soldiers in the bush to secure the place, to avoid the circulations of non-wanted videos of this dead bodies? And this is from pain for more yare. Nano de moye and the video yala me Boniface. Yansan nim video ya mo de baye. Yansan bi nim. Mo di kan agu mo anim ase. Mo di kan ayo mo adagya to fam. Mo di kan ama Ghana fo mu se wosom oman Ghana na wu a ye kyekere wonam ewo bottom. Enti ene de mo ya mo ahyehye ho ahyenhyere ho a asogyafoɔ ne ho ana ho ayɛbɔ brass band eminim sɛ Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park do mo koyɛ no sɛ Jubilee House ho ana mo yɛ no sɛ na mo yɛ no. It does not make sense. It is purely stupidity at the highest level. People can't trust that is NDC for you. That is NDC for you. Say Moody kind denigrated the image of this man. Moody kind showcase the end of this man in such a brutal manner. Naturally, ma na Moody say mwana. Ente adaka wedi na wom. Sadaka we Moody say yen Ghana for yenti asese hwinam kase ba ko bi na dam. Wouldn't it had been beautiful? Senka Ghana for yen hu sa photos ahodo e ba bonten enipa da sani ahida ho. Pictures no could be one. No, I think so I don't have them here. Say Mama Ghana for you who defense minister. Why should I hope to the bear? What done I say? Mama Yahunina Muntara Mohammed. Yahu se papatin tengram will be the whole wash ye. We assume say your noa, Namin in Hoka Senqua. Nene walk of sa box way at the Ghana flag afa home. To come and deceive who? Me? Or to deceive who? Or to deceive yourself? This is what we call incompetency. The word governance, it is not about dokono and chene and mo ene and namo. In all these little things, it showcases how competent you are. In Krofuya, a whole sitting president at a meals, a yare, a war, castle, ye paja papa denisha, a pick up to sa kwadabi. Hey, and this is for me a wicked. A ye wicked though, a lack of knowledge. Mutimi paja the whole sitting president and a share car boot to say the whole sitting president. And you trouble more and Tomutin, you came back and you're even doing worse. You guys are doing worse. And idea, and you have Tamasu Nifru Mutimi ye bibi, ama Nifuna metabon, Tenebasabasan security in the system. But Nadia, I mean, me. A program be a TV show. A programmer a baby a prim be a benya problem be a wim I bet theater I bet she and I say ebenya ever say benya young can say emergency grand landing piano. And we investigation at the end to understand what was the problem. Alupre bohona share. Enye black box no kwa and obetum de detected the CEO. Alupre no ntabai. Alupre no ne body no. You can say weather for no but alupre no body na ankasa ne whole yin everything on the plane can say something to the investigators. Metahwesa program no pa. It is a plain bit to the accessibility of ordinary people no are very dangerous. They can compromise every little witness. The plane itself can say to the investigators. But we incompetent to the point to say they were led by ordinary people to go there. Hey, and this is a very dangerous party. Yento aso na bereko enem mayeleti pa yento aso. Abusia asem ne awreho. Mo timi ama ya hu se nkrofo we hye wuye basa ene you are just showcasing how incompetent you guys are. And now let's go to the funniest part of everything. let's go to the funniest part of everything. Abusiamfo. Yes, I say the umpers of Monfantre Ghana for and say Ibrahim Ahama ni praying at the microphone mu yeno. Or the Moko South Africa or the Omoko South Africa. Ekoye DNA test. When we certain, Yanto was here, here, certain, where? Pray na land, here, just a minute. And Crawford mo free pray no more banye. Omosi. Now, there may be some say DNA testing. It to me do nipa ni test mpo a test DNA money ye. So I'm asking why all this content creating. You to pray more. Ediko. Kwan Benson ye fast so. Yes, yeah, transport too. I don't know what they transported. Nipanen ne kase. Tiwi ni ho. And nambi na mucha koye. How do you use a plane, a passenger plane to transport a dead body? Hey, Krofo nyeni po. Krofo, they are not people. They are not human beings. They are not human beings at all. Sadi was in common fa ambulance plane and then yes way. Because to make the DNA effective, you know, you were under some you can say temperature be I was saying keep the body. There are some condition be also keep the body. And sana DNA test ne be ye. Now after all, is it necessary at all to film the departure of the DNA, the arrival of the DNA, and the comments of the health minister? That is it actually necessary? Say ekita wunsem to say the akurabi yato ayidiama akwada yakwa akoto chingomanasi yato alewa anase abushamentiase nkrofo with these guys are actually certain government where you a QNet government ampa. Everything is about showcasing. Everything is about the social media. Everything is about creating an impression of what does not exist. And the head minister Ankasa ni di anymore. This is the job that's supposed to do. That was supposed to be done by some professionals, not the health minister. Also, the home barber gym. It is really an insult to the state called Ghana. Say after 68 years, you were a cataphobium to say nipa we no mudi anim. A little sense, respect for the dead. Amunibi. Now omodini nyina adane campaign. Omode kakra adane campaign. Omode kakra ye mama hwe. Omode kakra ba be kire say they are performing. That is what these guys are doing. Abusham for me ding ene Mr. Mafo. Ras Media GH on YouTube. Yes, mo Facebook also. Your friend me didn't be a member. Your friend me didn't be a member. YouTube. I didn't know. Facebook. I didn't Canada Japan Junior. When I'm you Facebook. Oh, how to me like video no mame. I mean, you can share some Mohammed that's a power. like video on Facebook and also on YouTube. Mr. Se unyan subscribe to this channel. But madana subscribe. Beka abusian kuo kese no ho. Se de be a life for ubenyanka bose yaba. Na won so watumi abehye wo idea. The odwene. I hope say men say man dem de baaye aso wani. And so when you can advise me on what you want to hear more about. So mekoso mabo modern na maso moda na me de sema eto asum it makes sense na it make a lot of what we call you can say relevant in the system. You want to say the bro it means say but modern like video no mama ya hear do so but likes no from pa someone like video no mama na owo ba bi so betumi ahya akwa betumi ahya di akọ. I don't know if someone wants to call. Maybe phone lines na to usu to me frɛ na wachire wadwen afansema ye de ba ye ho. But once ya me twen se course be ba no. Let me put this video and let's watch it.
This is a transoceanic and a transcontinental. When he used it for watching I was there for the UN General Assembly. The engines failed. The engines failed. Machines at the President Mahama 2015. President Mahama actually had 2 incidents, 2015 and 2014. That's why it has 3 engines. When one engine fails, it doesn't, nothing fatal. The president has to make an emergency landing. After 30 minutes to, I mean, you don't, it was not something to be scary about. Look, we all, it is not. Look, President Mahama had the same incident twice. It didn't stop President Mahama from using, from using the power. Like flying. Look.
A few moments later.
And do you think the aviation sector needs a retooling? And the talks about the presidential jet, do we need a new one?
I will leave those matters for the investigative board that the president has commissioned to look into this tragedy. They should come up with their recommendations, and I'm sure they will come to us in cabinet and in parliament.
Yeah, and when you are in power, sometimes you talk like a human. When you are in opposition, you tend to be an animal. That is an NDC idea for you. I am fancy haya. Bushamasuma beautiful last to our utumi friend. Now watch our drink kakra. You know, so now like video no mame. I unsubscribe. Also now more than our subscribe. Abe kan bushan kuo kese no last media bushan kuo no. Bushan for enche bi a melanche me project bi a me pese me yon no makura ase. Ai ba bia me maybe I'm free no. There was some difficulties, challenge be or I want to solve it for my people. So I will launch it, and yeah, with the cooperation of the foundation, we want to do a little thing for my people back home, and NTBA melanche. My request, my request some support from my supporters. Somebody to me aboame. Amama to my project way at the aboam kurase for na sabio me no more e wo ho aye twibom yabusia for last na bia da muso to me frɛ na wa kyerɛ wadwen entie okuja tabla kwa when he actually described Nanado as an animal for renting private jet for his journeys. Yentie video way nim na mu na me twɛn call to me ba me pa na video no sia mekramona ko yentie.
You're here is because of how you've mounted pressure, your own words, in another matter, and that's regarding the president's travels. And so I've heard you on another platform saying the public purse should be protected and the president's trips are too expensive. How do you intend for the president to travel without adequate plans for his security? Should it be the focus, or should his complete security be our focus?
Thank you very much for this brilliant question. First of all, it is important to stress that Ghana has a functioning presidential jet. I have heard people say, what is the Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa on and on about? Does he want the president to travel on a donkey? Does he want the president to use a bicycle? You know, what's all that about? They deliberately obfuscate the matters. They deliberately muddy the waters. They deliberately speak as though this is a certain concern that doesn't factor in the president's security, the president's, you know, convenience.
Who are they?
In traveling. All of the propagandists out there who are consciously trying to muddy the waters. Look, that will fail. Ghanaians are discerning. Ghana owns a functioning presidential jet, a jet in pristine condition, a jet in mint condition, a jet that is a long-range aircraft and flies to virtually everywhere in this world. Our presidential jet, the Falcon 900 EXE, was ordered by President Kufuor in 2008. It arrived in Ghana in 2010. When you order these jets, it takes some 2 years on the average for the manufacturers to manufacture it according to your specifications. We as a country, during the era of President Kufuor, gave the manufacturers, the Dassault company in France, our specifications, how comfortable we want it, the kind of seats, how spacious we want it, the size and all of that, how many people it should take. We gave them our specifications. They configured the aircraft based on our order, President Kufuor's order. Very tall President Kufuor, who ordered this, his specifications. I hear people say, oh, it's such a tiny jet. The president, the last time I heard the vice president spokesperson, Dr. Gideon Boaku, say on news for that, oh, the president cannot even stretch a leg. You see, let's stop these blatant falsehoods. Because, you see, when we do that, we are insulting the Ghanaian people. Ghanaians know that tall President Weah of Liberia, he applies to use our presidential jet. He is granted. I have asked the foreign minister in Parliament to provide a list of other presidents who have applied to use our presidential jet. And she has confirmed, and she has told us that the Liberian president, the Guinean president, the Cameroonian president, Madabio, they've all used our presidential jet. So people should stop this business of the presidential jet is not fit for purpose. The presidential jet is not comfortable. The presidential jet is not spacious. You can't stretch a leg. You can't relax. And all of that. Please, let's respect the people of this country.
Thank you very much. Don't worry, I know, say you're in a situation where you cannot go. Don't worry, Mimia. Yeah, thank you all the way for being here.
Now, this presidential jet arrived in 2010. The records in Parliament, please check the parliamentary Hansard. We were told that the presidential jet has a lifespan of a minimum 20 years. So 2010, when the aircraft arrived, plus 20 years, that gives you 200, it gives you from now to 2030, from 2010 to 2030. That's minimum 20 years. Now we all know that with these aircraft, if your maintenance regime is good, if you take good care of the aircraft, that minimum 20 years, you can even double it. Our Ghana Air Force, the Communications Squadron, which is in charge of presidential jets, is celebrated the world over for their high maintenance culture. We all know that. If you take in Ghana's history, this is our 4th presidential jet. The Fokker 28, which a Champon purchased for us in the 1970s. Our Air Force has been able to take very good care of Fokker 28 for well over 35 years. So even this minimum period of 20 years, you can see that is very generous. It can go beyond that. Now, I am even more fortified in the position I take that the minimum period of 20 years could even exceed that, because a country like Namibia, a Falcon, theirs is a much older version. Ours was a newer version, the 900 EXE. The Namibians bought the 700 EX. And all of this information is available online. Viewers can check if I'm peddling any falsehood. So the Namibians bought theirs in 1990. They are still using it. Ours arrived 2010, and we are making excuses. Excuses that are unfounded, that are baseless. Excuses that we have asked. You say that these claims are coming from experts. We have been asking in Parliament. Tell us who those experts are. Let us see the evidence of experts telling you that don't use this aircraft for a long-range travel. Up to now, they cannot tell us. They cannot produce or adduce any evidence to that effect. Now, the Namibians, President Geingob of Namibia, is still using a Falcon 700 EX, which they bought in 1990. They are still using it. The last UN General Assembly, when I tracked, and I've been tracking this, I have the systems to track this. President Geingob of Namibia used their Falcon, which they bought in 1990. Over a 30-year Falcon. He used it to New York, to the General Assembly meeting. Only in September, a few months ago. All these meetings the president is attending. That's what the Namibian president, President Geingob, has been using. Take President Macron of France. His aircraft that he's using now also arrived in 2010, the same year our presidential jet arrived. President Macron of France is still using his presidential jet, which arrived in 2010, the same year, 12-year-old aircraft. That is what President Macron used when he visited Ghana in 2017. That is what he used when he went to Rwanda.
So you're making
a few months ago.
You're making the case that
so
the aircraft is not old enough to be retired.
Yes. So, yes. So please, it's important to really bring my point home.
Okay.
Take the United States of America, the famous Air Force One. When was it purchased? You can check. 1991. That's when the Americans purchased Air Force One. That is what current President Biden is still using. President Obama's period, they began discussions about changing it. That is now reached its lifespan. Is, after 30 years, they want to change it. But President Trump, when he came to power, said that the plans for the replacement was too expensive, too elaborate. So he suspended it and reduced the cost and the scope. President Biden has also suspended it because of the pandemic. This is the world's wealthiest country, the United States of America. They are still using Air Force One they bought in 1991. We bought our presidential jet in 2010. It arrived, and we are making all kinds of excuses. Now,
Yabujanfo MC de Mubesiha. Now China Yankopompa, Yasan Enimoshia. Eha Ras Media GH on YouTube. Bamadre na bekambusi yakuno ho sede beya yaba life wa ubeti enka. Mechia mimia uskani kwajo kwachi yepa, mechia yepa, saanso na mimia kopi jima, mechia yepa. Mia kwame Japan mechia pa, mimia kakari TV, mechia usu yepa. Me mame estake bari mame sister, osanso ya me mame, mechia yepa obabi obia. Evans Ankama Kofi, mimia mechia pa. Mimia Daniela Sante mechia Sansana Frank Kofi Mechiao, Mame ya Frimpoma Mechiao, Vivian Kuma Mechiao, Mame British, Tris in Cancer, Mechiao Nsu Yepa, Nketiah Kwajo Jr. Mechiao Nso, Mame Augustine Ofusua Mechiao, Felix Apia, Politicazo Mechiao Yepa, Law Aduse Boate Mechiao, Mimia Kofi Bears Wilson Mechiao Nsu Yepa, and Jennifer Edu Wonso Mechiao. Anaya mechiawo nso yepa abusiamfo mede mo besia menim se breko pa ba bi obi bia obi menim se breko mede mo besia na yankopon pa ochina ahodene ewo ho na sabio moja edi ahurusane ewo mu a besan ahia ewo ha makrabo nyina until we meet again, adios.